The security guard's hand clamped down on my arm like a steel trap. "Ma'am, you need to leave now," he growled, his fingers digging into my hoodie. My 6-year-old daughter Maya pressed against my leg, her tablet still playing cartoons through her headphones. She had no idea what was happening. Good, I wanted to keep it that way. Behind the marble front desk, Vanessa's face was twisted with satisfaction. Her perfectly manicured finger pointed at me like I was dirt on her expensive shoes. "I said, get this trash out of my hotel," she screamed. "The police are on their way." The second security guard stepped closer. The lobby had gone completely silent. Every guest, every employee, everyone was staring at us. "You're making a huge mistake," I said quietly. Vanessa laughed, actually laughed. "The only mistake here is you thinking you could step foot in a place like this." The guard's grip tightened. In the distance, I could hear sirens. What Vanessa didn't know, what none of them knew, was that in exactly 15 minutes, I was supposed to sign the papers that would make me the owner of this entire building. But we're getting ahead of ourselves. Let me take you back to where this nightmare really started. I stared at my reflection in the backseat window of my Maybach. The leather seats still had that new car smell. My lawyer, Patricia, was on speakerphone, her voice crisp and professional. "Zara, the final walkthrough is scheduled for 3 p.m., she said. "The deed signing is at 5. Are you sure you want to do this inspection yourself?" I adjusted my Chanel suit jacket. "Patricia, I'm not buying a sinking ship without checking the leaks first." "Fair point. I'll meet you there at 3. Actually, make it 5. I have something I need to do first." Maya was in her car seat beside me, iPad in hand, watching some cartoon about talking dogs. She'd been so patient today, riding around with Mommy during boring business meetings. "Mommy, I'm thirsty," she said, pulling her juice box from the cup holder. "Okay, baby, but be careful." The juice box exploded. Apple juice went everywhere. All over her dress, all over my white suit jacket, all over the cream leather seats. "Oh no! Mommy, I'm sorry!" Maya's bottom lip started trembling. I took a deep breath. Hey, it's okay. Accidents happen, sweetheart." I grabbed the emergency towels from the back and started cleaning. My suit was ruined, completely ruined. I had exactly 45 minutes before the walkthrough. "Patricia, I'll call you back," I said, hanging up. I popped the trunk and looked at my options. I always kept a gym bag in the car for emergency workouts between meetings. Inside was a plain black hoodie, some leggings, and sneakers. Not exactly CEO attire. I changed quickly in the back seat, stuffing my ruined suit into a plastic bag. When I looked at myself in the mirror, I barely recognized the woman staring back. No makeup, hair in a simple ponytail, a hoodie that's seen better days, leggings with a small hole near the knee, beat-up Nikes I used for actual running. I looked ordinary, maybe even poor, and that's when the idea hit me. "Actually," I whispered to myself, "this is perfect. If there was a problem with this hotel, if the staff was the reason customers weren't coming back, I'd never see it dressed in designer clothes. People treat you differently based on how you look. It's ugly, but it's true. But if I walked in looking like this, looking like I couldn't afford a night in their cheapest room, I'd see exactly how they treated their customers when they thought no one important was watching." "Change of plans, baby girl," I said to Maya, helping her into a clean dress from the bag. "We're gonna play a little game." The Grand Pearl Hotel rose up like a glass and steel tower against the afternoon sky. 32 floors of luxury, marble, gold accents, a doorman in a uniform that probably cost more than most people's monthly rent. I pulled 2 rolling suitcases from the trunk, designer bags, but old enough that the logos were faded. I'd packed them earlier, planning to stay the night after signing the papers. Now they'd be perfect for my little test. Maya held my hand as we walked toward the entrance. The doorman stood at attention, his white gloves pristine, his posture perfect. A white couple in expensive clothes approached from the parking lot. The doorman's face lit up. "Good afternoon," he said warmly, practically leaping forward to open the door. "Welcome to the Grand Pearl. May I help you with your bags?" They swept inside like royalty. The door closed behind them. Maya and I reached the entrance, 3 suitcases between us. I was clearly struggling with the bags and holding my daughter's hand. The doorman looked right through me. His eyes slid past us like we were invisible. He didn't move, didn't speak, just stood there checking his phone. "Excuse me, could you help with the door?" He glanced up, annoyed. "Staff entrance is around back." "I'm not staff, I'm a guest." He looked me up and down. His lip actually curled. "The Grand Pearl has standards, ma'am. Perhaps you'd be more comfortable at the Motel 6 down the street." The disrespect was so casual, so automatic, it actually took my breath away. Before I could respond, the door swung open from inside. A young guy, maybe 19 or 20, rushed out. He wore the hotel uniform, but his name tag said trainee in red letters. His name was Leo. "Oh my gosh, let me help you," he said, grabbing the 2 heaviest suitcases. "I'm so sorry, ma'am. Welcome to the Grand Pearl." His smile was genuine, kind, the first kindness I'd encountered since arriving. "Thank you so much," I said, genuinely grateful. "Leo!" A voice cracked through the air like a whip. A woman stormed through the entrance, late 30s, blonde hair pulled back so tight it looked painful. Her makeup was perfect, her suit was designer. Her name tag read Vanessa, front desk manager. Her eyes were full of rage. "What do you think you're doing?" she snapped at Leo. "I'm helping a guest with her bags, Miss Vanessa," Leo said, confused. "A guest?" Vanessa looked at me like I'd crawled out of a sewer. "Leo, we've talked about this. You help paying guests, not every random person who wanders in off the street." "But she has luggage." "Do you see the kind of luggage? Do you see what she's wearing? Use your brain, Leo. This is obviously someone looking for a handout or trying to use our bathroom." Maya squeezed my hand tighter. I squeezed back, a silent message. "It's okay, baby." "Ma'am," Vanessa said, not even looking at me, "I'm going to have to ask you to leave. This is private property." "I have a reservation," I said calmly. "I seriously doubt that." "Would you like to check?" Vanessa's jaw clenched. "Fine, come inside, but make it quick. We have real guests checking in soon." Leo looked miserable as he set the bags down. "I'm sorry," he mouthed to me. I gave him a small smile. He had no idea he'd just saved his job. The lobby was stunning. I'd seen the pictures during the purchase negotiations, but seeing it in person was different. Floor-to-ceiling windows, a chandelier that must have cost 6 figures, marble floors so polished you could see your reflection, and it was nearly empty. At 2 p.m. on a Friday, this lobby should have been buzzing. Instead, I counted maybe 5 people. All of them looked uncomfortable. Now I understood why the revenue was tanking. Vanessa click-clacked behind her desk, her heels sharp against the marble. She didn't ask me to approach, just stood there, arms crossed, waiting. I walked to the desk, Maya's hand in mine. "Name?" Vanessa said, flatly. "Adebayo, Zara Adebayo." She typed on her computer with 2 fingers, making a big show of how much effort this was taking. "Nothing's coming up." "Could you check again? It should be under a suite reservation." "I said nothing's coming up." She finally looked at me. "Do you have a confirmation number?" I pulled out my phone, scrolled to the email, read off the confirmation number. More aggressive typing. "System says this reservation doesn't exist." "That's impossible. I received confirmation yesterday." "Well, it's not here now." Vanessa's smile was pure ice. "Perhaps you booked at a different hotel. There's a Holiday Inn about 5 miles from here. Very affordable." A man in an expensive suit walked up to the desk beside me. Vanessa's entire face changed. "Mr. Richardson, welcome back," she gushed. "So wonderful to see you again. Let me get you checked in right away."
She completely turned her back on me to help him, laughing, smiling, moving faster than I'd seen her move since we arrived. I waited and waited. Mr. Richardson left with his room key, giving me an uncomfortable look as he passed. Vanessa turned back to me like she'd forgotten I existed. "You're still here? You haven't finished helping me." "There's nothing to help with. You don't have a reservation." "I have a confirmation email." "Email confirmations can be faked." She said it loud enough for people nearby to hear. "We get scammers in here all the time trying to get free rooms." "I am not a scammer." "Then you'll have no problem providing a valid credit card for incidentals." I reached into my hoodie pocket, pulled out my wallet. Inside was a black American Express card, the kind you can't apply for, the kind they only give to people with serious money. I set it on the counter. Vanessa picked it up like it might bite her. She held it up to the light, examined it from every angle. Then she did something I didn't expect. She pulled out a pair of scissors from under the desk. "What are you doing?" I asked. "Hotel policy," she said with a cruel smile. "We are authorized to destroy fraudulent credit cards on site. This is clearly fake." She positioned the scissors right at the edge of my card. "If you cut that card," I said quietly, "you will regret it." "Is that a threat?" "It's a promise." She paused, the scissors still touching the card. Something in my voice made her hesitate. "Fine," she said, setting down the scissors. "Let me try to run it." She swiped the card through her reader, waited. Her eyes widened slightly. The screen must have shown something because her face went pale for just a second. Then she cleared her throat. "Card reader's broken. Can't process this." "That's convenient." "Ma'am, I don't appreciate your tone." "And I don't appreciate being called a scammer when I have a valid reservation and a valid credit card." Vanessa leaned forward, lowered her voice. "Let me be very clear. This hotel caters to a certain clientele. We have standards, we have expectations, and frankly, you don't meet them." "Because of my clothes?" "Because of everything." Her eyes raked over me. "Your clothes, your attitude, the way you just walk in here like you belong. This isn't Section 8 housing. This isn't a shelter. If you need assistance, there are social services that can help you." The racism wasn't even subtle anymore. It hung in the air like smoke. "I would like to speak to your manager," I said quietly. "I am the manager, front desk manager, and I'm telling you to leave." "Then I'd like to speak to the general manager. Mr. Sterling is very busy with important guests." "I'll wait." Vanessa's face flushed red. "You'll wait? You think you can just park yourself in our lobby and wait?" "Yes, that's exactly what I think." "Security," Vanessa called out.
This was escalating faster than I'd expected. A security guard approached. Older guy, looked former military. His name tag said Rodriguez. "Miss Vanessa?" he asked. "This woman is refusing to leave. She doesn't have a reservation. She's been harassing me and disrupting our guests." Rodriguez looked at me, looked at Maya. Something in his eyes softened. "Ma'am, I'm going to have to ask you to leave the property." "I have a reservation. I have a credit card. I'm a paying guest." "Vanessa says..." "Vanessa is lying." The lobby went silent. Everyone was staring now. Vanessa's voice went shrill. "How dare you! Rodriguez, I want her removed immediately, and call the police." "Please, ma'am," Rodriguez said gently. "Don't make this harder than it has to be." Maya tugged my sleeve. "Mommy, I'm scared." I knelt down, eye level with her. "It's okay, baby. Everything's going to be fine. Why don't you put your headphones on and watch your show?" She nodded, tears in her eyes, and pulled her tablet out of her little backpack. I stood back up, looked Rodriguez in the eye. "I'm not leaving. I'm going to sit in that lounge area and wait for the general manager. If Vanessa wants to call the police because a black woman dared to exist in her lobby, that's her choice." I picked up my bags and walked to the lounge area. Expensive leather couches, designer coffee table, art that probably cost more than a car. I sat down.
Maya curled up next to me, lost in her cartoons. Vanessa's voice carried across the lobby. "You can't sit there. That furniture is imported Italian leather. You're going to ruin it." I didn't respond, just sat there, phone in hand, looking calm even though my heart was racing. Vanessa pulled out her phone, started dialing. "Yes, hello. I need police at the Grand Pearl Hotel immediately. We have a trespasser who's refusing to leave and has been threatening staff. She's with a small child. Yes, I'll hold." She smiled at me while she waited, actually smiled. This was about to get much, much worse, and I was going to let it, because every second of this would make what came next so much sweeter. I'd been sitting for maybe 5 minutes when I heard the click-clack of Vanessa's heels approaching. She wasn't alone. 2 more security guards flanked her. Rodriguez looked uncomfortable. The other one, younger and eager, looked like he was ready for a fight. "I told you you couldn't sit here," Vanessa said, standing over me with her arms crossed. I looked up calmly. "And I told you I'm waiting for the general manager. Mr. Sterling doesn't have time for people like you." "People like me?" "You know exactly what I mean." She turned to the young security guard. "Marcus, I need you to escort this woman and her child off the property. Use force if necessary." Marcus stepped forward, hand moving to his belt where his radio was clipped.
"Ma'am, let's not make a scene in front of your daughter." "The only person making a scene is your manager," I said evenly. That's when Leo appeared, carrying a silver tray. On it was a glass of water with ice and a slice of lemon and a juice box. "I thought your daughter might be thirsty," he said softly, setting the tray on the coffee table in front of us. "And here's some water for you, ma'am." For a second, I thought I might actually cry. This kid, this trainee who probably made minimum wage, he saw us as human beings. "Thank you, Leo," I said. "That's very kind." Maya pulled off one headphone. "Juice! Thank you!" "You're welcome, sweetheart," Leo said with a genuine smile. "Leo!" Vanessa's voice could have shattered glass. "What did I just tell you about wasting our resources on non-guests?" "But, Miss Vanessa, she's just a little girl. I don't care if she's the Queen of England. You don't serve people who aren't paying customers." Vanessa moved fast. She bumped into Leo hard, her hip catching the edge of the silver tray. The glass of water flew through the air, tumbling in slow motion, and crashed onto the marble floor. Water and glass exploded everywhere. The sound echoed through the silent lobby. A guest gasped. Maya screamed and pulled her legs up onto the couch. "Oh my God!" Vanessa shrieked. "Look what you've done! Look at this mess!" I'm so sorry, Leo stammered, dropping to his knees to pick up the glass. Sorry? Vanessa's face was purple with rage. "This is Venetian marble. Do you know how much it costs to repair? This is coming out of your paycheck, Leo. You're written up. One more incident and you're fired." "It was an accident," I said firmly. "You bumped into him." Vanessa whirled on me. "Oh, so now you're going to lie for him? I saw what happened. He's clumsy and careless, just like—" She stopped herself, but we all knew what she was about to say. "Just like what?" I asked quietly. "Just like all the other diversity hires we're forced to employ," she finished, not even trying to hide it anymore. Leo's face crumbled. He was trying so hard not to cry. Rodriguez put a hand on Vanessa's shoulder. "Miss Vanessa, maybe we should all take a breath." "Don't touch me," she jerked away. "I want this mess cleaned up, I want Leo written up, and I want this woman removed from my lobby immediately." "Your lobby?" I said. "Yes, my lobby. I run this front desk. I decide who gets to stay and who needs to go, and you need to go." I pulled out my phone to call Patricia. Vanessa's hand shot out. She smacked my phone right out of my hand. The sound echoed through the silent lobby like a gunshot. My phone hit the marble floor. The screen splintered with a sickening crack. Everyone froze. Rodriguez's eyes went wide. Even Marcus looked shocked.
"No calls," Vanessa snapped. "You'll speak to the police when they arrive, and not before." That was assault. She'd just committed assault in front of witnesses. "Vanessa," Rodriguez said quietly, that was what she deserves for being disruptive." Vanessa cut him off. "Marcus, grab her arm. Make sure she doesn't try to run." The young security guard actually reached for me. I stood up, carefully moving Maya behind me. "Touch me, and I promise you, you will regret it for the rest of your life." Something in my voice made Marcus hesitate. "What are you waiting for?" Vanessa demanded. "Ma'am, maybe we should wait for the police," Marcus said. "I gave you an order." In the distance, sirens were getting louder.
"What in God's name is going on out here?" A new voice, male, commanding. A man in his 50s descended the grand staircase like he owned the place, which technically he still did for another 2 hours. Mr. Sterling, the general manager. He was exactly what I'd expected. Expensive suit, perfect hair, the kind of man who'd learned to smile while stabbing you in the back. "Mr. Sterling!" Vanessa's entire demeanor changed instantly. Sweet, professional, victimized. "Thank goodness you're here. This woman has been causing a disturbance, harassing our staff, destroyed hotel property, and she assaulted me." She pointed at the water on the floor and my broken phone like they were evidence at a crime scene. Sterling looked at me, looked at Maya, looked at the broken phone, looked at the shattered glass. "Ma'am, I'm going to need you to explain what's happening here." "Your front desk manager refused to check my reservation," I said calmly. "She called me a scammer, threatened to cut up my credit card, refused to process it when I provided it, called security on me for sitting in your lobby, and then she physically knocked my phone out of my hand when I tried to call my lawyer." "That's a lie," Vanessa said. "She's been aggressive since the moment she walked in. She doesn't have a reservation. She tried to use a fake credit card, and when I asked her politely to leave, she became verbally abusive and threatened me." Sterling looked between us. I could see him calculating, deciding. "Do you have any proof of this reservation?" he asked me. "It was on my phone, the phone your manager just destroyed." "How convenient," Vanessa muttered. "Mr. Sterling," I said quietly, "I would like you to check your security cameras. They'll show you everything that happened." Something flickered across Sterling's face. "Unfortunately, our lobby cameras are currently being serviced." "Really?" I said. "That's interesting, because I was told this hotel has a state-of-the-art security system." "It does, but the cameras in this section have been down for maintenance since yesterday." He was lying. I could see it in his eyes. "Then check the footage from yesterday, before they went down. You'll see my reservation in the system." Sterling pulled Vanessa aside. They whispered urgently. I couldn't hear all the words, but I caught fragments. "Dressed like that? Can't be serious. Lawsuit? She's bluffing." When they turned back, Sterling's expression was cold. "Ma'am, I've reviewed the situation with my front desk manager. Vanessa has worked here for 8 years. She's one of our most trusted employees. She informs me that you became aggressive when asked to provide proper identification. You refused to comply with simple security procedures. You caused a scene that disturbed our guests, and when asked to leave, you became verbally abusive and physically threatening." I couldn't believe it. He was lying, right to my face. "That's not what happened." "I have no reason to doubt Vanessa's account." "So you're taking her word over mine?" "I'm taking the word of a valued long-term employee over the word of someone who's been acting suspicious since the moment she arrived." He crossed his arms. "Now I'm going to ask you one final time to leave this property voluntarily. If you refuse, the police will remove you, and I will press charges for trespassing and destruction of property." The sirens were right outside now, getting closer. Maya tugged on my sleeve. "Mommy, I want to go home." "We will, baby. Soon." I looked at Sterling, really looked at him. This man was willing to lie, to cover up racism, to protect his terrible employee, all to avoid admitting his hotel had a problem. "Mr. Sterling, I'm going to give you one last chance," I said quietly. "Check those cameras. Apologize. Fire Vanessa. Make this right, or I promise you, you will regret this day for the rest of your life." He actually laughed. "Are you threatening me?" "I'm warning you." "Security," Sterling called out. "Please escort this woman off the property. Hold her for police if she resists." Rodriguez looked sick. Marcus looked excited. They both moved toward me. "Don't touch my daughter," I said. "Then leave voluntarily," Sterling said. "No!" "Rodriguez, Marcus, restrain her." Rodriguez reached for my arm. His grip was gentle, apologetic, but it was still a grip. Marcus grabbed my other arm. "Let me go," I said. "Ma'am, please don't make this harder," Rodriguez whispered. "You're assaulting an innocent woman." The lobby doors burst open. 2 police officers walked in, hands on their belts. Vanessa's face lit up with triumph. "Officers, thank God you're here. This woman has been trespassing, causing a disturbance, and threatening our staff." The older cop, a black woman with sergeant stripes, looked around the lobby, looked at me in my hoodie, looked at Maya crying, looked at the 2 security guards holding my arms. "Ma'am, we're going to need you to come with us," she said. And that's when the 2nd Cavalry arrived. 3 black SUVs screeched to a halt outside the glass entrance, right behind the police cars. Through the windows, I could see at least 8 people climbing out. Suits, expensive ones. Leading them was a man I recognized immediately, George Vanderbilt, the current owner, the man who was selling me this hotel in exactly 90 minutes. Behind him were lawyers, hotel executives, and my lawyer, Patricia, looking furious. The sergeant's radio crackled. "Sergeant Williams, we have additional parties arriving on scene." George walked through the doors like a force of nature. He took one look at the scene, me being held by security, Maya crying, Vanessa smiling in triumph, and his face went red. "What the hell is going on here?" he roared. Vanessa rushed forward. "Mr. Vanderbilt, thank goodness you're here. We have a trespasser who's been—" George walked right past her, didn't even look at her. He walked straight to me, and then he did something that made the entire lobby gasp. He bent down and picked up my shattered phone from the floor. "Miss Adebayo?" he said, his voice full of concern. "Patricia called me in a panic. She said you weren't answering your phone and she was worried. Are you all right?" The lobby had gone completely silent. Vanessa's smile froze on her face. Sterling went gray.
The police sergeant's hand moved away from her belt. "I'm fine, George," I said calmly. "Though my phone seems to have had an accident. Your front desk manager knocked it out of my hand." George turned slowly to look at Vanessa. "You did what?" It was, Vanessa stammered. "Rodriguez, Marcus," I said softly. "You can let go of me now." They released me like I was on fire, stumbling backward. Patricia stepped forward, pulling out her tablet. "Mr. Vanderbilt, Miss Adebayo informed me she was conducting an undercover assessment of the hotel's service standards before finalizing the purchase. Based on her silence, I became concerned and reviewed the cloud backup system you installed last month." "The cloud backup?" Sterling said weakly. "Yes," George said coldly. "The one I installed without informing you, Sterling, because I wanted an unbiased record of hotel operations. The one that backs up all security footage in real time to a secure server." He turned to Patricia. "Show me." Patricia turned her tablet around. We all watched as she played the last 45 minutes. Every word, every insult, every lie. The doorman ignoring us, Vanessa calling me trash, the fake system error, the threat to cut my credit card, the racist comments about Section 8 housing, Vanessa bumping into Leo, the phone being smacked from my hand, Sterling and Vanessa whispering together, Sterling lying about the cameras, everything. The police sergeant watched with increasing anger. "Ma'am," she said to Vanessa, "I'm going to need you to step over here." "Wait, what? I'm the victim," Vanessa protested. "You committed assault on camera. That's a crime." George's face had gone from red to purple. "Sterling, in my office now." "Mr. Vanderbilt, I can explain. You have 30 seconds to get up those stairs or I'll have you arrested alongside Vanessa." Sterling practically ran for the staircase. George turned to me. "Zara, I am deeply, profoundly sorry. I had no idea." "You couldn't have known," Zara said. "That's why I needed to see it for myself. The sale is still happening, but there are going to be changes, major changes." The sergeant approached Vanessa with handcuffs. "Ma'am, put your hands behind your back." No, this is insane. I was doing my job." Vanessa was crying now, mascara running down her face. "You can't arrest me. I have rights." "You have the right to remain silent," the sergeant said, clicking the cuffs into place. "I suggest you use it." As Vanessa was led away, still screaming, she looked at me with pure hatred. "You set me up. You tricked me." "No," I said calmly. "I gave you every opportunity to do the right thing. You chose not to." The sergeant paused at the door. "Ma'am, do you want to press charges for the assault?" I looked at my broken phone, looked at Maya, still scared and crying. "Yes," I said, "I do." Vanessa's screams echoed through the lobby as she was escorted to the police car outside. The lobby was still frozen, every employee, every guest, everyone watching.
George cleared his throat. "For those who don't know, this is Zara Adebayo. As of 5 p.m. today, she will be the new owner of the Grand Pearl Hotel. She came here undercover to assess our service standards, and we failed, catastrophically." Murmurs rippled through the crowd. "Effective immediately," George continued, "Mr. Sterling is terminated. He will be escorted from the building within the hour." He turned to the remaining staff. "Anyone else who thinks it's acceptable to judge our guests by their appearance, to discriminate, to lie, or to assault people, there's the door. Leave now or commit to doing better." No one moved. "Leo," I called out. The young trainee stood up from where he'd been frozen by the couch, still holding paper towels from cleaning up the water. He looked terrified. "Yes, ma'am?" "Come here, please." He approached slowly, like he thought he might be in trouble, too. "You were kind to me," I said. "You were kind to my daughter. Even when your manager yelled at you, even when she threatened your job, you did the right thing." I was raised to treat people with respect," he mumbled. "How long have you been working here?" 3 weeks, ma'am." "And how would you like a promotion?" His eyes went wide. What?" "I need a new front desk manager, someone who understands that every guest deserves respect, regardless of what they look like or how much money they have. Interested?" "Are you serious?" "Dead serious. Triple your current pay, full benefits, and I'll personally make sure you get the training you need." Leo's eyes filled with tears. Yes, thank you." "Don't thank me yet. You're going to work hard." "I will. I promise I will." Patricia stepped forward with the contracts. "We have about an hour before the scheduled signing. Would you like to review the final terms?" "Yes. But first," I turned to Rodriguez. "You looked uncomfortable the entire time, but you still followed orders." He stood at attention. "Yes, ma'am. I'm sorry, ma'am." "Why did you do it?" "I have a family to feed. I can't afford to lose this job." "I understand that, but I need security who will speak up when something's wrong. Can you do that?" "Yes, ma'am. Absolutely." "Good. You're promoted to head of security. Your first job is to review all security protocols and make recommendations for preventing what happened today from ever happening again." His jaw dropped. "Thank you, ma'am. I won't let you down." I looked at Marcus, the young eager guard. "And you?" He looked at the floor. "I should have known better. I'm sorry. You're on probation. One more incident like this and you're gone. Understand?" "Yes, ma'am." I picked up Maya, who immediately wrapped her arms around my neck. "Mommy, are we safe now?" she whispered.
Yes, baby, we're safe. And this is going to be our hotel. Would you like that? Can we get ice cream? Everyone in the lobby laughed. The tension finally broke. Yes, sweetheart, we can absolutely get ice cream. In fact, I looked at Leo. Free ice cream for everyone in the lobby on the new management. The guests actually applauded. George smiled. Shall we go sign those papers? Let's do it.
An hour later, I sat in George's office, soon to be my office, in a fresh suit that Patricia had grabbed from my car. My hair was fixed, my makeup was done, I looked like the CEO I actually was. The contracts sat in front of me. $8 million, 32 floors, 150 employees who were now my responsibility. George handed me a pen. "Are you sure you still want to go through with this?" he asked. "After everything that happened?" "More sure than ever," I said. "This hotel has good bones, good location. It just needs the right leadership." I signed my name on the final page. The Grand Pearl Hotel was mine. Patricia leaned over as George and I shook hands. "There's still a news crew outside. Word got out. They want a statement." I thought about it. Part of me wanted to just let it go. But then I thought about all the other people who got treated like I did today, who didn't have the power to fight back. "Tell them I'll give a statement, but brief." 10 minutes later, I stood in the lobby with Maya by my side, cameras rolling, reporters with microphones. "My name is Zara Adebayo, and I'm the new owner of the Grand Pearl Hotel," I began. "Today, I experienced discrimination. I was judged, disrespected, and assaulted because of how I looked. But I had something most people don't have, the power to do something about it. So I did. From this day forward, every guest who walks through these doors will be treated with dignity. I don't care what they're wearing, I don't care what they look like. Everyone deserves respect. That's not a suggestion, it's a requirement." I picked up Maya. "Now if you'll excuse me, I promised my daughter ice cream." The cameras kept rolling as we walked away. 6 months later, the Grand Pearl Hotel was voted the #1 hotel in the city. Revenue was up 50%, guest satisfaction scores broke records, and the staff, they finally understood what real hospitality meant. But as for Vanessa, "Welcome to Burger Barn, can I take your order?" "Just a Happy Meal for my daughter, please." That'll be..." "Pull around to the second window." Sometimes karma doesn't just knock, it pulls up in a Maybach and orders a Happy Meal. And Sterling, well, let's just say his management career ended right where it belonged. The Grand Pearl wasn't just a hotel anymore, it was a movement. Proof that when you treat people right, success follows. If this story taught you something, if it made you think twice about judging someone by their appearance, hit that like button and share this with someone who needs to hear it. Subscribe for more stories that matter, because everyone deserves dignity, no exceptions.